Hi everyone, it's Simon here with a review of Solo Islands of the Heart. Solo is a meditative puzzle platformer crossed with BuzzFeed Love Quiz that's available on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC and Mac. This game is a really interesting experience because it merges a block-based puzzle system to try and get you to cross from islands to islands, almost like a representation of your heart. And as you get to each island and you solve puzzles, you will awake totem poles that will then ask you questions, just like a BuzzFeed quiz, on different aspects of what you class as love, true love, your priorities in life and things like that. And it will ask you some quite difficult questions. And I was thinking, as I was going around, all of the different archipelagos, as they call it, but levels to us, unlocking these totem poles that will then ask you different questions. Depending on how you then answer those questions, it will then completely diverge out in the different questions it will ask you throughout the game. And what I did after I'd played the game myself was watch other people's playthroughs, and I was seeing that other people were getting completely different sets of questions to what I was asking. What was also really interesting is that the world colours itself based on some of your questions. So if you're perceived to be quite hot-headed, lust-driven, angry, that kind of thing, then more deserty environments start to create themselves with these islands. If you seem quite cold and literally solo, because you don't want to be in a relationship or you don't consider love to be something that can be truly shared and blossomed, then it becomes like an icy environment. I'm a soppy little sod, so quite a lot of my stuff ended up being tropical islandy type stuff, so a mixture of desert and jungle, where everything, I took that to mean that everything is blossoming, and I guess that's because I'm still in the first year of a relationship, so we love each other and we haven't ripped each other's hair out yet. What could rip your hair out though, segue, is the way how the controls work on some of the block puzzles. Whilst you can go at your complete own pace, and I really appreciated that about Solo, and you've got little benches to sit down and adoringly view the surroundings. The way how you get from puzzle to puzzle is by solving these little mini block things as they go along, and it will quite often start off with just stacking blocks on top of each other so that you can reach higher ledges. Then you'll get blocks that blow wind, and you have a parachute on your back, and that can lift you up so that you can then glide to the next island along. If you then start to rotate those blocks around, you can then have them, instead of push you up, they can hover off the ground, so that can then make a higher step, and it will start to integrate with blocks that will slide out like a seesaw with a ledge, and you'll be kind of constructing little mini mechanical box ledges to get you round islands, up ledges, across cliffs, and then with some mini games you've got quite a few animals on these islands, and they're all separated from each other because the bridges between them have fallen down. Narrative! And so what you can do is then use these blocks to re-prop back up the path so that they can meet up with each other, and little heart icons pop out, and it's all very cute and adorable actually. Aside from that, there are a few other little puzzles as well. One of them is essentially a laser puzzle, or a laser style of puzzle, but it's with water. And you'll need to direct water out of spouts so that you can then water the garden and bring life back to the island that's there. And there's also a really interesting one around shadows actually, and there's a beam of light coming in, and you need to build the blocks up so that it can then portray a shadow out behind it, so that you can kind of redraw the shadow space behind you. It's all highly metaphoric, beautifully done, but the way how the blocks snap to the environment when you move them around, because you can pick them up with your wand and kind of move it around a bit like a magic stick, and they snap in a grid format, and because the camera will move around quite often depending on where you're going, you'll have to wrestle sometimes with the controls to try and get it exactly where you need it to go. It's not terrible, and because nothing is time-based, it's okay to kind of faff about with the camera for a few seconds, setting up your shot and then kind of going and dropping the box where you need it to go. But I can see some people getting a bit frustrated with it and then wanting to give up, which is a shame because Solo's only a 2-hour experience. At the end, it does have all of these questions lead to a choice as to whether or not you want to continue on with your love or kind of go your separate way and sail off into the seas as a solo person. There was also one really cool thing that I liked, is that it asked you if you're in a relationship who your true love's name is. So I popped mine down and then saw his name on the boat that I was sailing around between the islands, and I thought that was proper cute. So yay, I liked that. So as I say, loads of really, really good ideas. I feel like this could be expanded into something really, really interesting about personalities as well, and really, really go into depth with all of the different questions with the puzzles as it goes along. But I can also see that people will be a bit like, oh, I don't have these feelings and emotions, I'm a gamer. That crowd this game will not appeal to at all. And the block puzzles, whilst actually I enjoyed the puzzles themselves, the camera fighting with the blocks themselves was a little bit annoying at times. Nothing to stop my progress for very long at all, but occasionally it would then lead me to kind of like fall off blocks accidentally, and then I'd have to go and restart building my stuff again. And when that happens, it's just a little bit frustrating. So that's Solo, Islands of the Heart. I personally really enjoyed it. Looking around at other reviews, I seem to be in the minority though. So yeah, I hope the gameplay kind of makes sense. If you've got any questions about this, because I feel like this is one of those games that could be quite marmitey for people, drop them down in the comments below and I'll be able to answer them as best as I can. But it's out on most consoles and PCs, so yeah, if you spot it cheap and you're like, give it a bash, and don't blame me if you ruin your love life as a result. Okay, you guys take care. Bye bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.